this is amazing. It was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostyn and Cam Water.
For the first time here for season 3. Davis on pole, Vandergren in second. It's going to be sprint round action here tonight. Let's go racing here at Daytona. It was a good start there from Davis in comparison to Vandergren in behind. Cowan's absolutely bogged it up and already dropped out of the top 3 here as they come down towards turn 1 for the first time. There's biffing and barging between Gallen and Cowan. These guys are still going at it after last season. They survived for this time by though. Through turn 2 and 3 they come. Nice and clean, boys. Keep it up as they come up to...
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannons insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride, whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride,
ride with Shannons.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Through turn 1, it was a horrible start from De Bono, who's absolutely bogged it up and gets eaten alive by Dixon and Gowans as they come on through. Through turn 1 they come, and they all spread out around in towards the first sector of the Silverstone circuit. They look all right at the moment. Okay, there's already been a car spun round. That's Jordan Ferguson offline.
Is green at Road Atlanta here as well. Faulkner did get away. De Bono is tucked in as well. Unfortunately, Houghton is on that outside line. De Bono does want to turn it to 2. He's got the job. De Bono's overtaken. Now can he get Ben Faulkner up through turns for 2 and 3? They go round the right-hander, dropping down the hill. Faulkner's out in front. De Bono second. Houghton third. Ratcliffe in fourth. No real dramas going into turn 1.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannons,
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be.
Shannon's.
Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
This is amazing. It was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostyn and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down to the hill. Sam Noble wants to slip on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tanak and Jamie Dyson just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't committed, which is fair enough. It's very scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's see if we get a good run. Dodd's just absolutely thinking about it. It's a really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to SRW TV, and welcome into the Warren Brown Tools V8 Supercars Championship for round 8 of season 1 of 2025 out at Phillip Island Raceway here this evening. I'm your commentator Hamish Munro, joined alongside once again by Steve Sinkovic. And Sinker, no matter how much I love Phillip Island, no matter how excited I am for this race, I'm ready for a kip, I'll be honest with you. So I'm hoping that some ferocious, fast-paced, tenacious supercars racing is going to wake me up on this Sunday night. Because I'll be honest, the heat is on. It's been raining today. You know, lost an hour of sleep because of the changeover from daylight savings, and I am ready for a kip at this point. I mean, so I'm hopeful that we're going to get some great racing.
Warming us up.
Exactly.
And maybe these viewers as well.
Exactly right. So, but I'm pretty hopeful. I mean, we've had some great racing thus far this season. Last week at Oran Park, exceptional stuff in the rain. That race was absolutely almost heavenly for a track that no longer exists. Tonight we come to Phillip Island the week later. We got the rain again out here in at PI. There's not going to be the first race this week though that we see at Phillip Island. Of course, Wednesday for the Moser Racing Australian Open Wheel Nationals, we'll see the GSRC take on SRW at this circuit in the Super Formula Lights. But tonight it's Supercars action, brought to you by Warren Brown Tools for, you know, what is our sort of, call it second to last race for this, or we're at the halfway point actually. Technically, this is the last race of the first half of the season, because we've got 16 rounds this season of the Sunday series, and since it's round 8, this is literally, once this is done, we are halfway there. And then next week at Winton, you know, we should get some great racing as well. And then the week after at Bathurst, we'll be in for something special. That's if Bathurst goes ahead on the Easter weekend. We have asked drivers what they would prefer. If it doesn't, it would likely then get rescheduled to either replace a different round of the season, or it would get pushed to possibly the end of the season. So we're waiting to get confirmation for that, but we do definitely know, Sinker, that next week is Winton, and I'm excited because I love Winton. I love Phillip Island. This is probably my favourite part of the season. Oran Park last week, Phillip Island this week, Winton next week. Couldn't get much better than this for me personally.
Look, it's either way, you know, me and Phillip Island, we're not great mates. But I'll tell you one thing, though. The cars do sound amazing coming down the main straight. They sound phenomenal, which is really, really good. And the boys are already ripping up some great pace out there, which is even better. Nice full grid. All the fast boys are here. All the boys are here. Everyone's out here to have some fun. And the viewers are out there fast and thick as well. Everyone's saying g'day. I think everyone's trying to get used to the change in time, and some Queenslanders will be happy because now it'll fall on a normal time frame for them, which is really good.
WA people will also be happy because it means that the 7:50 start time is now 5:50 p.m, not 4:50 p.m. So they get a bit of reprieve as well from us for the time zone change.
Correct.
One person.
It's easier for even Tuesday nights as well.
That's right. And one person who'll also be happy. Well, not happy, but maybe content, is one of the co-hosts for the AWN, Zach Cabin, who we know dislikes the fact that Queensland does not use daylight savings. Well, now everyone's the same, so now they're, you know, you can't really complain about the time zone change. It's all the same now. But I'm looking forward to this week's thing. I mean, tonight, Phillip Island for Supercars. You know, this place is a place that is really, really special, and it's one that I think it has a rich history in racing, not just supercars. You know, you think about the superbikes and MotoGP, you think about open wheel racing as well, and then even other local, you know, Vic State Series, stuff like that. So it's a circuit that has a real enriched history in motorsport, going from the local to the national and even international markets as well. So, you know, I think it's going to be really, really special. The fact that we get to race here twice this week too really makes it almost feel like a racing long weekend, if you will. You know, starting tonight with Supercars and then ending on Wednesday with the AWN. So, you know, it's going to be a big week for SRW this week, and then, you know, we're going to have a couple of weeks where it's just you and me on the Sunday, and then all of a sudden Season 2 will be here, and we'll be rocking and rolling once again, heading on forwards to another fantastic season of Tuesday Supercars, Wednesday SFLs, Thursday 8.6s, and the last half of the Sunday Supercars season as well.
Look, 100%, and the great thing about it is that this track, really in the wet, it has no easy corner. Every corner has got its little nuance about it, and in the wet, it's just going to make it that little bit trickier. I guess the easiest bit's going to be just after the pit entrance, that little right-hand kink, and maybe the second kink in the last corner. That's about it. The rest of it is going to be all tricky as hell. Don't worry, tonight we're going to have 2 races for you, not just one. We've got the 2040 tonight, so we're going to have the qualies for 15, and that'll cut off. And it'll cut off at the 15-minute mark, and then we're going to have a 20-minute reverse top 10, just to make it a little bit more saucy for you on a Sunday night, and followed by the 40.
Now, I've not checked the registration channels for about a week and a half, Sinker, and I've just checked the Tuesday Supercars one, and where it was compared to where I've just scrolled to, I've had to go down probably about 5 or 6 scrolls of the scroll wheel on my mouse, and that probably equates to maybe 40 drivers or so. There's quite a lot out there. The SFLs have got big numbers too leading into next season, as does the GR86s. So, of course, sign-ups are open for Season 2. If you're not a registered SRW driver, you can register at our website, www.simracingworld.com.au. You can pay your subscription fees and register as a driver. I believe we still have the $30 for the 12 months still open until the end of season. We don't? Okay. All right.
Only per season.
$10 a season then. $10 a season. Oh, 15. All right, it's gone up. Well, all right, the price has gone up. $15 per season, but you get the opportunity to race in 4 different race series with that cost. Though you get to race in Sunday Supercars, Tuesday Supercars, Wednesday SFLs, and Thursday GR86s as well, all for $15. It's a hell of a deal. It's almost you're paying 5 for 3, and then you get 1 for free off the back of that. So it's a pretty good deal to come and racing in SRW, and you know you get live race control, you get live broadcast, all the bells and whistles, and you know I think next season's going to be even bigger than this one. And as I get qualifying started, could this race be one of the biggest of the season, Sinker, in terms of changing up our championship order? I know that Warboys leads us into the championship into this race tonight after a solid performance at Oran Park last week. Can he back it up though on the island now that we're probably about 4 hours south of where he lives, where last week we were about 4 hours north?
Oh, look, I don't know, mate. It's anyone's race in the wet. There's even Harry Dodds could win it tonight. So it's anyone's in the wet. No thing can happen.
We've got too much
top 10.
We've got too much love for Doddsy in the chat at the moment. I'm feeling almost.
You're feeling nauseous.
I'm feeling uncomfortable by the amount of love for Harry Dodds. I must say this feels imbalanced. First lap, so coming in qualifying, Blake Warboys goes to the top, 146.312. I imagine a lot of these times
smacked at the moment, mate, by one of Tyson's boys.
I think it was Terry Marsh, who may have. No, it's not. No, that's just
Alex.
Oh, Alex. Okay. I think the times are going to be a little bit varied based on how difficult this track is to drive in the wet. You mentioned, I think, nearly every corner, if you haven't got the driving prowess down and you haven't got a lot of history here, you can end up in the wall. What are you laughing at? Are you laughing at the chats?
Project 36 are ready to start out Harry Dodds for a price. I don't think you can get any price for him, mate. He's priceless.
Oh. Well, how much did he cost us for the 500 Sinker? Was that a freebie? Was that to a cost?
I don't know. Yeah, it was a freebie. Yeah. Oh dear, mate. But we've already got Blake Warboys just set a nice perler with a 146.312. So he's leading the way at the moment. Billy Moles in second, 47. Angus Lawford, 49s. So the times are still going. And Warboys just hit a 39.515.
And the track's getting faster. Now they're getting up to pace. They've realised how wet the circuit is. The first lap was possibly just a bit of a banker, and now they're getting ready to push as Scott goes P2 at 140.22. Mueller P3 at 140.55 as well. So there's plenty of pace in this track, plenty of pace in this field as well. I'm glad Shibby's doing the balancing act for us in the chat, saying boo Doddsy. So thanks, Shibby, appreciate it.
And the rain is not coming back by the look of it, by the weather report.
Oh, okay.
So we could be heading for a track that's drying up. So we could be starting on the wets and finishing on the dries.
So for Jace Douglas, does that mean he's starting on the dries and finishing on the wets?
It could be reverse.
Opposites for Jace Douglas. But, I mean, how would you feel after such a mistake last week to start on the dry tyres? I mean, it's a mistake that I don't think Jace is going to make twice. And I do think tonight he will at least be smart enough to check that tyre compound before he joins the circuit for the grid.
War Boys was on all purples, but someone's just taken the second sector, turned that into green and gone purple in the second sector. I'm not sure who, but he's up for a good time. Leonage is up all greens at the moment.
He's got some great pace in him as War Boys comes down towards the line. How much faster is he going to go? Here in qualifying, we're only 5 minutes in as we run up towards.
He hasn't got his fastest. He's still done his fastest lap.
1:39.4, so that's good enough.
So just keep your eyes on the rooster tails behind these cars. And let's see if they're going to start fading.
Leonage goes a P2 as well. Does he go better? He doesn't, but Harry Dodds does. I'm just going to privy to the chat and give them what they want for about 15 seconds. There you go, chat. There's Doddsy for you. We'll watch him here as he runs around. Have we determined, Sinker, if he's fixed the lighting or not? It looks a bit brighter, but do we think it might just be the screens, maybe?
Yes, I think it's the screens at the moment.
I do as well.
Oh, man, thank you, Sean, for reminding me. I'm trying to get stuff out the door, mate, but it's life is hard at the moment. I've got so much things to ship out at the moment. It's ridiculous. My garage is starting to look like a mess. And I've had some stuff come back too. John Gallen would like to know. I got his trophy come back in the mail, all destroyed.
Wow.
Sitting beside me on the floor. Yeah. It's the box doesn't look second-hand and everything. And it was an Aussie Post box too. So trophy, the welds got snapped. That's how bad the bag. The box was treated, and it ended up back on my doorstep. So it'll go out of this next lot coming this week.
Did it even come back in a box at that point? Because
yeah, just second hand. It looked like it had something dropped on it. And after the last lot, I had one or two that snapped. So I really went to town on the welding.
This sounds like a comment more on your welding abilities, Sinker, than the postage.
Welding is good, but you're welding. You're welding cast onto metal, and cast has got a lot of impurities in it, and it's crap to weld. Crap to weld.
Have you thought about trying to apply something that can actually weld properly to the bottom of the cast to help it kind of secure itself almost?
Well, you're welding an odd shape as well, so
yeah.
It's very simple, but it's tricky at the same time. It looks simple, but it's tricky.
But
anyway, it'll be fixed and shipped out with the rest of the stuff that I've got sitting in my garage at the moment to go out, which is awesome. And the times are getting awesome as we speak about that.
If Sinker advertises he's having a garage sale, swiftly get there because you may be able to pick yourself up an SRW trophy that might just be hanging around. Get it for G.
Oh, dear me. Looks like
Jack Andrews, he's got some pace
at the moment.
On track. Where is he?
Yeah.
It's not Rehan. It might be Mulford. It's Mulford.
Oh, it's Mulford.
Yep.
Mulford. Where's Mr. Mueller? Mr. Mueller is up there again, which is good to see.
Yeah.
So he's handling, and have a look at that. We mentioned it last week. The magnet between Mueller and Mole is still there.
Yeah,
they are 2 100ths apart.
Do we finally get them on the same row, Sinker, as Scott has gone fastest in first, but he's pulled out of the lap. Unfortunately, we're halfway through qualifying though. Roughly, I think it's about
Terry Marsh is on dries.
Or so left. Terry Marsh is on dries.
Yep.
That is an interesting plan. I don't think it's going to work out in his favour based on the rooster tail at the moment.
No.
Everyone else is on wet, so everyone else is trying to get some laps in. Jacob Traynor is making his debut on the Sunday Series tonight as well. Sinker only signed up between last round and this round, so he's out there for the first time. I loaded in and I was ready for everyone to be already in the driver overrides. I'm like, Jacob, what have you done joining late? And then swiftly added him.
I think Brandon Levin's working tonight, so it's a shame because it would have been their first chance to partner up together as a team because I said, look, one of you boys needs to jump in Sunday nights to back up Brandon. You can't just have the one car. It's just too hard.
I reckon Lavery needs to get out there in the supercar.
Yeah, not just on track, but in Discord as well. You know, you need to work as a team together. It makes life a little bit easier. And since
Mr. Davis moved on.
Davis had a baby. He's been racing Sundays, and he's also swapped teams. So so Brandon's been left on his lonesome.
Even if one of the boys can hop in and spot for him as well, just to give him some company, give him some guidance, help him with strategy. That's the beauty of having a big team in terms of amount of drivers, because you've always got someone who may be able to support you and give you spotting and stuff like that. So, even if someone's not able to, so even if one of your teammates is in the field and you're not able to drive, but maybe you have time to spot for them, get in the session, spot them, help them with the fuel, and just let them do their work. Because even just having someone in your ear reminding you to keep it calm, or where you can push, or when you should pit, that just it takes so much off your mind and allows you to focus so much more on driving.
It does 100%, and some people like it. I'm not a massive fan of it, but I just want my spotter just to tell me where cars are around me more than anything else, and just keep quiet the rest of the time. But some times that we're very surprised. If Stoney has got himself up at the second place, and Jack Andrews. So we've got
I think
some changes around there.
I think Andrews has proven himself the last few rounds, Sinker, to
he's
kind
got
of
his confidence up
yeah,
there.
he's put himself in a good position further up the order. He is within that top five. Harry Dodds is on very interesting, Doddsy. Let's see how long that
as well has
lasts
come out on drives.
I wonder, are they maybe using a dry setup and they just haven't changed the tyres before coming back out on track?
I don't know, but let's get a view of this car that you're watching at the moment, Stone Street, from the rear, Chase. Let's see what the Rooster Tail's doing at the moment. Is it as strong as it was before?
That's pretty big. That's a pretty big spray.
Yeah, it hasn't. So the track's not dry.
No.
Not by any means.
No, it's a pretty reasonable amount of spray.
Yeah, look at that. There's still a fair bit of wetness on this track.
I think it's. The problem is Scott's looking to go faster. Then the problem is
Morford's gone on dries as well now.
Wow. Because I don't think
there's a few boys testing it to see if they can get some pace out of it, I think.
Sinker, have you heard the iRacing spotter come into your ear and classify the track as dry yet? Because I find
I
that
haven't been on the track.
No, I mean just sitting here now, because if your spotter's on, I think they can still tell you, as Scott goes top 139.1 an exceptional effort. Because that's the changeover point. That's when you change over to dries, is when they declare it as dry. Mueller goes fastest in the first sector. So I still think the wets are the beneficial tyre at the moment, because it's paying dividends on the lap times. And they've got
2 minutes left.
Yeah, they've got to get these laps finished. Mueller's going to get one more chance here at a lap as he comes down towards the line. And I suppose, you got to take a swing at something, but Lawford's had to come straight back in again after going on those dry tyres. So it's nowhere near dry enough yet for the dries.
No.
As Mueller crosses the line. What's the lap time going to be? 139.7 puts him P4 on the road for Pacific Esports Racing. He will get a chance for one more lap here in qualifying. Warboys, this is probably going to be his last attempt, as they will get cut off at the 15 minutes, and he's not going to get back in time to do another lap. So this is the last chance for Warboys to go top. Same for Rehan Leonage. This should be his last lap as well, being that we're going to be less than 1:40 until the end.
Oh, James Scott's on 2 purples.
Yeah, so he's only going to extend more. Leonage ends his qualifying. He goes P2, 139.31. What about Warboys at the final corner for his final lap in qualifying? He's got a bit of tow from Randall ahead of him in the Affinity Motorsports car. Could that pay him dividends now down the Doohan Straight? As we run up towards the line, Warboys goes P2, 139.26. James Scott crosses the line, 138.67.
Wow. That's
Dodsy's gone P4 actually on the dries somehow.
Yeah.
Billy Mole goes P3 with a 139.28. So Mueller and Mole are actually now they're separated. This is Mueller's last lap. He's coming around the final corner with only 45 seconds to go.
Purple in the second sector.
Okay, so maybe there is some pace in the dries now, but I don't know how stable they'd be the longer this goes on. But
In
is
the
the
braking
gamble,
area.
the gear, or even like mid corner right on apex, a little bit too much
Yeah,
throttle,
he's
could
already on
slide
track
it.
again.
Yeah,
It could be one lap pace, but not race pace.
yeah. McManus is
Mickey
not going to set
Clifton.
another time. Andrews crosses the line. How does he go? Does he improve? He does. He goes
Ooh,
P6
yeah, he's
ahead
up
of
to
Dodds.
6th. Yep.
Stone Street in his final attempt, 10 seconds on the clock. He looks to be the last car to cross the line. Where does Stoney go? He remains where he is. He goes
stays.
better, but he stays where he is. Brown already
Yep.
did his lap. McManus is done. That's qualifying done and dusted. And James Scott has got himself another pole position this season.
That is excellent. Woohoo! So downstairs tonight we have got Barbs and Maddie Keane, and
And
do
Sam
believe
Katakazinas.
Sam Katakazinas.
Yep.
Sammy is driving the safety car tonight, so hopefully it's not too wet for him.
Oh, yeah,
and
because
doesn't
he
end
has
up-
had issues with the rain in the past where his PC
Yes,
crashes.
yes.
So that's going to be one thing to keep an eye on for the safety car crew. But the starting grid, though, for race 1 here this evening at Phillip Island, James Scott will start pole ahead of Blake Warboys in P2. Billy Mole, Rehan Leonage in the second row ahead of Ryan Mueller, Jack Andrews for the third, Harry Dodds, Troy Stone Street, Will Brown and Alex McManus start inside of the top 10. Will Buchanan, Jace Douglas for your top 12 with Angus Lawford, Tim Mulford on the 7th row, Mick Clifton, Shane Randall, Troy Dooley, Jacob Traynor, John Gallen, Russell Uren and Stacey Boyd will make up the back of the field. Terry Marsh has set a lap. He will start at a P22. Will he make the starting grid? We'll have to wait and find out. As Sinker said, our race controllers, Greg Barber, Matt Keane and Sam Katakazinas in the dungeon this evening. What's your pick, though, Sinker, for tonight? Could we see a surprise winner, or is it going to be the James Scott show all over again?
No, it's going to be tough, man. There's going to be some switching and changing. It's going to be a very. I'm not going to do any predictions, mate. No way in this world. Yeah, I'm just giving someone a message that's sending me, oh, you know, your graphics have got the old thing on it. I said, yes, I do know that.
So we're just awaiting a couple of cars to join the grid here this evening before the green flag is called. I mean, look at that shot, though, Sinker. Look at those cars, and the sun is out here on the island. So the question is, who's gonna roll the dice? Who's gonna start on dries? I'll give you the hot tip right now. Moles on dries, Andrews on dries, Dodds, Stone Street on dries, McManus, Buchanan on wets, Brown's on wets, Douglas is on wets, Lawford, Mulford, Clifton on dries, Dooley's on wets, Traynor,
the top
Gallen,
three, the top
Uran.
two are waiting to see.
Yep, Leonage has gone to dries.
Oh, he's gone back on dries.
Wow. Okay, so Marsh, Boyd, Uran,
Everyone's switching.
Gallen, Traynor all on dries too. There's 3 cars on the wets at the moment that are on the track. Will Warboys or Scott or Leonage or Mueller roll the dice and start on the dry tyres? I suppose the dice roll more so now is actually, do you start on the wets? Based on the percentile of drivers who are on wets and compared to who's on dries.
It's going to be interesting. 30 seconds.
It will
I've got
indeed.
the second camera on McManus in 10th place. Giddy up, people. Let us know who you're watching, who you're supporting, who you want to watch, except Harry Dodds. And go out there, like and subscribe, and hit that thumbs up and notification button. Don't forget the oil in the second corner.
Don't forget
Can't
that.
be, I wasn't on track.
Let's see, which is our best camera here for the start line? Oh, static TV does not want to work for us. Lights are up though at Phillip Island for race 1 this evening. Scott and Warboys on the front row. Warboys has got Mole as the rear gunner as we get underway at Phillip Island. It was a great start from the front runners. Scott has started on wets and Warboys has started on dry. So does James Scott get eaten alive by the field as we run through turn 1 for the first time? Or is this going to be the master stroke strategy from the man who wants to challenge Warboys for the championship?
very, very, very clean. Everyone's taken off. A few cars a little bit of bogged down in the back there, but nothing serious. Billy Mole's the one that suffered the most. He's off track on the outside of that corner, but looks like he's slowly getting himself back on. I don't know if Scott's was a great move or a disaster move. We'll see in a few laps time.
Oh, he straight lined the corner,
Billy
made contact
Mole.
with Mueller.
Oh, Scott. Oh, he's tried to...
He's
tried to...
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that might be the wet's not holding the corner across there, but I don't know.
No, that shouldn't be that. I think he just might have actually broken a little bit too late.
Yeah.
All boys, though, comes up towards Lukey Heights. Leonage now P2, Andrews P3, Dodds Brown inside of the top 5. Buchanan is the only driver, Buchanan and McManus, the only 2 drivers inside of the top 10 on the wet tyres. The other driver on the wets aside from James Scott at the moment is Troy Dooley, as Stone Street has just gone past Mulford, who's in a tightly contested battle right now with McManus and Douglas. McManus, though, using those wets to his advantage, gets the grip on the inside of the second to last corner. That's Stone Street into pit lane. Oh, not, maybe not. He's just having a wild moment. So I reckon, Sinker, the final sector looks wetter.
It's still very wet.
Yeah. And I think that's the big issue now. It's the big issue. So it's like one part of the track's not wet enough for wets. The other part is too wet for dries. That's the balancing act now that needs to come into it. Do you have the wets for that wet section, or do you have the dries for the only slightly wet section? It's a tough go. It's a real tough go.
It is tough, but you know what? The smart thing here was Blake getting ahead out there into clear air. Now he's controlled of he's got control of what his car's doing, what he's going to do. He doesn't have to worry about someone on the rear end of him or anything like that. But it's amazing. Rearnage. I'm starting to do what they do in the media. You know, mix the first name and the middle name and create groups. Rian is doing a great job there, but he's dropped 4 seconds off the back of him. The last lap was a 1:42 by War Boys and a 1:46 to the rest of the grid. Mr. Rushy, no, mate, always up for some help. And yes, we are updating our comms for the beginning of the show. It wasn't a major deal for us for last season, but this season new one's up. And you'll see a new show starter for the Australian Open Wheel Nationals as well, Wednesday night.
So War Boys leads the way. Stone Street is still struggling on those dry tyres. Yeah, and as we suspected, James Scott has a drive-through penalty for, can only be described as torpedoing himself into Ryan Mueller down at Miller Corner.
Stone is going for it.
Stoney is now really... Oh, Mueller as well.
People are still struggling with the corners, mate. They still are.
Yeah, we'll get some replays happening of everything that happened across the first couple of laps of this race.
Oh, someone's up against the wall. What's going on there?
That's Terry Marsh.
Second hand.
That's Terry Marsh. I think, it is pretty second hand. We'll try and get some replays happening for everyone out there so we can check out what's happened to some of these drivers. So it all started lap 1, turn 2 with Billy Mole going off at the exit of this corner. So was he helped? No, he just kind of ran it wide, unfortunately. Yep. And then this was the moment down at Miller. So one thing we didn't see was Scott actually... Oh, no, I was going to say we didn't see him go off track. But, yeah, I just think he got a bit caught out by the brakes.
Yeah,
and then went in and hit the back
to avoid him and just tapped him there.
Yeah, it's a real struggle section. Let's have a look at it from his POV and see if there was anything he could have done in this moment, because he comes around Honda on the brakes. The thing's not pulling up. There's a car in his way, and just the slightest of tap sends him round.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a passenger at that point. He just lost the front end. But some spectacular driving everywhere at the moment. The grid is very, very tight. James Scott is down in 16th at the moment. Russell Urin has just gone off track at the back end there. Jace Douglas is making a move on Will Buchanan. He's in 8th and 7th place, so he's having Stoney! Oh, that was when he went sideways into the pits. Look at all the rain on the track still there. That's why some of these boys are still struggling. So it's under brakes and getting the rotation of the car, getting the traction in the rear end. Who's got the new paint job there in front of Mueller?
That's Boyd. That's the new Nova Sim Sports paint. Since Sean Vandermeulen left that outfit, of course, they lost some of the sponsors that came with him.
Yep.
So now they've gone to 95 Sim Sports with Sean. So this was urine. Oh my God, what a wild ride up to Lukey Heights.
But he did all right because he kept it off the wall.
He didn't hit the wall, which was good to see. I think this might be the moment with Terry Marsh where we saw his car get a little bit poorly, quite possibly.
Yeah, lost the wheel.
Oh, Mr. Drifter. What are you doing out there?
Done well. So at the moment we've got Blake Warboy sitting in top spot, leading out the boys. Rian Leonard is slowly catching him. He's Blake's last lap was a 136 and Rian's was a 134. So Blake's backed it off a little bit. So he's now 2.47 seconds. Jack Andrews 2.4 tenths behind him. Harry Dodds 2.5 tenths behind Jack Andrews in 4th place. So Harry's done pretty well.
I think all these drivers have done pretty well to contest with this weather on dry tyres, I must say. I mean,
look
at a glance, it doesn't look like it's dry conditions, but I suppose they can just survive with a bit of throttle input, as Clifton is getting a pure run here on Buchanan.
Yeah, but look who's behind Clifton. In 10th place, John Gallen is having a cracker night.
He is. He's making up. He's having to make up, I think, for the unfortunate moment with his teammate Ryan Mueller, and now he's flying the flag for PER.
Yep.
Getting this car inside of the top 10 and trying
like the water at Phillip Island way.
Oh, they do. You can see penguins there, and apparently you can also see pelicans as well, with the Pacific Esports Racing team out on track here at Phillip Island. So it's good to see from him. As Gallen wants it up the inside of Miller.
Got the car with the big gob as well. That Chev's
the
big gob on the front of it.
We spoke him up too
much. Sorry, Banksy. We just mozzed him.
Sorry, Banksy. Leonard, though, has now set the fast lap of the race, Sinker, 134.19 from Leonard. And to his credit, I will say this. I never took the time to see it, but I noticed today as I was joining the server, and I never noticed prior, that Rehan's actually got a 9 KI rating. And I shouldn't be that surprised. But I wasn't.
I believe he just hit the 9K not too long ago.
He's actually got a higher I rating than James Scott. So does it say more about his ability, or that he just does more officials than James does? I'm not sure. I mean, both of them are exceptional drivers. We know that. James, with an unfortunate mistake tonight, has now found himself at the comeback train here in race number 1. But if he can find his way forward, get up to P10, he'll find himself in a good spot for the start of race 2, because he'll be in pole.
I'd just like to, at this moment, thank all the viewers out there that are watching. 43 watching us live, plus what's on Facebook. And I'm watching, there's a SimSpeed iRacing Major Series 25 Round 4, and there's only 19 people watching it.
That's because Majors. That's because Majors is I think it's an endurance racing, so it is a longer one.
That's okay. I just makes me feel better.
Fair enough.
We all take our pleasures out of different things. But love the support out there. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notification button so that we, when we are back on screen, because a lot of action coming up soon. It's going to be an absolute pearler for season 2. And a few things changing in the V8s. New admin in the back end. Cowley is taking up the admin role for the V8s.
Good for Cowley.
Yeah,
I'm excited
he's
to see
very
what he can do.
individual.
Yeah.
Very switched on. Very process driven. So
and I think understands what the average, not to pardon the pun on his nickname, but understands what the average driver may want in the supercars field.
Well, he understands what the ones that got at the top end as well.
Yeah.
And Barb's has done a fantastic job juggling, the head roll of our RC, and doing that at the same time. So it was becoming a bit too much for him, and he did ask if we could find someone, and I just went to the person who was most obvious in our team, and that was Cowie, the average sim racer.
Well, can we call him now Cowie, the average admin? Is that his new nickname now?
We can.
Gets his admin.
He's got a gig on tonight, so he's not racing. So unfortunately.
Oh well, that's okay. I'm also playing around as well with on the tower, and we'll probably use it for more wet races in the future, of actually having the compounds on the tower, since we can now use that on SDK, so we can keep an eye on who is testing out the wets and who's stuck on dries here tonight as well, Sinker, or any future wet races as well. just to see what the strategies may be for some drivers out there, because, you know, when we're in the dry, we don't have soft or hard compound. When we're in the wet, I mean, it's up to the driver when they want to determine it's dry enough.
Look, it's a 20-minute sprint race, so maybe you can manage the wets through a race like this. Will Buchanan's still out in the wets. So is McManus and Dooley and James Scott.
He is definitely dropping some pace now that Gallen.
Yeah,
so I do think
they're probably overheating at this point.
It's getting dry enough now where you'd almost have to get dries at this point. So they are going to have to commit to coming into pit lane at some point in this race as well. One thing they're also doing leading into next season is we're hoping to expand the production and broadcast team as well. There was an ad put up on the SRW Facebook page. So if you've got some production experience with SDK and OBS as well, and you want to come have a chat to Sinker and even get a bit of training too to get you up to speed on the SRW processes, then by all means get in contact, because we want to hear from you. We want to try and get you set up and as comfortable as quickly as possible, don't we, Sinker?
We do. We're with the expansion. We're looking at doing a few things with the broadcast itself as well. So there's a lot of things in the plans at the moment that we're going to sort of test with and play with. Very kind words there from Laz. Thank you very much, mate. We are proud to a certain level, but we're very humble, and we will just do the best that we can when we can, and hopefully that puts on a great show to showcase the talent that's out there. That's what's the most important to us, showcasing, giving these guys a platform to show greasy conditions.
Very greasy.
Giving these drivers out there a platform so they can show off their skills and show off their sponsors and move and progress themselves as well. So that's very important to us.
Yeah, that's what we care about. We care about, giving a product that we can be proud of every single night or every single week, and giving a product that the drivers can be proud to show their friends or family. It's like, hey, I was in this race. You can watch me here, and you can, and that's what we're after. Out of all this, realistically, Dodsy's also been off track as well. What's happened to Dodsy?
A few close battles.
I think he might have caught the white line, possibly, Sinker. Yeah.
He started the paint. Yeah, he's turned as he's touched the paint, and it's just rear end has just gone round on him.
Fair play though, good save. I give that an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, there was good little set of S's there.
Yeah.
Jack Andrews is in the back of Rian at the moment. He's 4/10 of the back of him, so his teammates are going really well and following through. Jack has just jumped the next level, which is good to see. I hope that his scops, and I'm not sure if he's doing the pros this season, but I hope the racing with these other fast boys in our series is helping him maybe progress in his scops and the Logie series. Angus Lawford is making an attack on Will Brown. He's 6/10, and John Gallen is having a crack at Lawford. He's 2/10.
Hot on him at the moment as they enter in towards Miller. So Gallen, can it be a bit of a resurgence race for him? Get back up to that prime John Gallen that we know is there. Confidence, exactly.
Yes.
Get the confidence up, get the ego back a little bit as well, and just say to those little words that can go on the back of your head, hey, just piss off. I'm trying to do well. Don't get to me now. So that's what we want to see as well from and I think that also comes to a good point as well, Singer. One of the other things we love to do, because of obviously broadcasting as well, as we get to learn the narratives of the drivers. We get to learn the little stories of the drivers and portraying those on screen and narrating them as best as we can. We love that, because we are giving them a story to tell, or we are interpreting their story on track. As Gallen at the moment
was very, very close. He wasn't sure which way he was going to go, and he nearly nudged him in the back.
I didn't know John was a tap dancer, because he was on his tippy toes then trying to get that thing caught up.
That was very close. I think the rear end's a bit skinny. He's trying to work out which way he's going to go as well. He's taking the outside line. He's having a bit of a tease here. I don't think he's going to make a crack till the final right-hander, but he's letting him know he's there. Yes, Steph is correct. New admins, additional RCs. Steph McCauley is working her way through the RCs, and she did an exceptional job the other night, Steffi. Good to see you're progressing nicely. Sammy Kudakazinos is there and thereabouts, but I think he's a few levels behind Steph at the moment. But definitely new admin, new RCs, and we will be adding more RCs as well as we go.
To be fair to
look
Steph,
out for adverts from Greg
oh,
Barber.
Mulford's been off track down at Miller. Just went a bit deep there under brakes. So now Gallen gets that position. To be very fair to Steph, as someone who went through the process of getting her comfortable with broadcasting, very quick learner, and take things on. Yeah.
Have a look at this bottom screen. Jacob Trainer and the boys down there. Alex McManus, Trainer and Dooley are having a great little slog down the bottom there. And getting close to each other, they're backing off, getting close. They're not quite at the pace where the boys at the front can just sit behind each other really, really close. These boys will have a few panic attacks, a few code browns, and then drop off a little bit. But doing a great job in the bottom there, especially because it's still pretty greasy out there.
Yeah, there's still a bit of grease. There's still some wrist tail through the final sector as well. So it's still a bit, wet at the back end. The
sun's gone as well.
Yeah, it's
so it's not. It's that dampness that's a little bit greasy now.
It's going to come down to how well can the dry tyres disperse the water in that last sector. There's hardly any spray as we get in towards turn 3. So there's a little bit down here between 3 at Stoner and then up towards Siberia as well, little patches. And then up from Lukey Heights down through turn 12, there is still some spray down there too. So there's a couple of spotty sections where there is no spray coming off the cars, and there's others where there are those greasy sections that you mentioned, Sinker, where the spray's still coming off, the cars are a bit loose. And I'd have to argue, it's probably at the worst parts of the track. Because you don't want it to be wet while you're on dries at turn 11. You don't want it to be like that at Siberia or at Stoner, where you're coming through fast-paced in a fast-paced left-hander. It's probably would hope that those areas maybe would stay dry.
Yeah, 100%. Jacob Trainer's dispatched. Alex Manus must have had a bit of an issue there at some point because Troy Dooley and Jacob have dispatched him. Trainer is now chasing Ryan Mueller, and he's got nearly 3 seconds on Troy Dooley. So these boys have gapped it quite nicely down there. But great little battle coming up behind John Gallen. Mick Clifton and Troy Stonestreet are chasing down John Gallen in crucial positions. So Mickey Clifton, Rockstar Clifton, is in 10th place, the reverse top 10. Perfect position to be, and John Gallen beside him. Now, Stonestreet is wanting that position. He wants that 10th place. He wants that lead grid position. And he is having a crack right now.
2 minutes to get the job done. Does Troy Stonestreet. He's past Mick Clifton on the straight and up to P10 on the road. Don't forget they've also got Tim Mulford chasing them down. 2 Gallon's gone off the road at turn 1. Gallen off the road at 1. Needs to be careful of the rejoin as Mulford now wants it on Clifton 2.
Well.
He did well to rejoin and not make contact as we exit turn 2. Tim Mulford has not quite been able to get past Clifton here, so he's going to have about 2 laps to get this done. But Clifton is back into the top 10, and he's back into P1 for the starting grid of race 2.
Yep, he's there and thereabouts. Steph, yep, he's a good V8 driver. He just needs confidence. He just needs to settle into this racing. That's McManus letting some people through. I'm not sure what's going on down there. Maybe he's got some damage or something, and he's letting some guys through.
Maybe the setup's just not quite comfortable in the grease here.
Well, he's been wet, and the tyres have probably disappeared on him. I'll switch that screen across because we've got 3rd place. Boys nearly finishing, so we'll get some camera action for them.
So we can see there is a definite dry line starting to form now, especially on the Gardner Straight down towards the first corner. But it's not quite dry enough yet. I'm going to assume the whole field's going to start on the dries for race 2. Because why would you start on wets again when the dries have worked out so well for so many drivers in the field tonight? James Scott.
The wets are overheating.
I've also just seen James Scott has come in for dries and he's just set fastest lap. So he's out there for a bit of fun at the moment. He'll try and fight his way from the back of the field to the front of the field in race 2. And with 10 seconds left on the clock, there's about half a lap left for Blake Warboys.
In as well.
He's had to come into maybe some damage on that car, possibly.
4 points?
No, maybe actually, yeah. He's got 10 off tracks in SDK. You then compound that maybe with some collision points as well. He could very well be in for a drive-through.
Clifton is having a crack at Mulford for that last spot on the top 10. He was down to 1/10, now down to 4/10.
Well, as Blake Warboys traverses
sideways.
the final corner here at Phillip Island, he's going to extend his championship lead as he comes down towards the finish line. For WKMP Sim Sports, Blake Warboys takes the win in race number 1. Jack Andrews, Rehan Leonage and Will Brown will finish 3 cars abreast. All 3 Phoenix Racing Team cars inside of the top 5 will finish all together, with Lawford on the other end of him as he comes home P5. Dodsy's teammate looks to come home in P6. Billy Mole, Jace Douglas, Troy Stone Street, and Tim Mulford. I think your thing might have actually been on replay still, Sinker, possibly, because you were a bit behind then. They come around towards the line, and Tim Mulford will make it 4 Phoenix Racing Team cars inside of the top 10. And importantly, he'll be on pole position for race 2 with Clifton just outside in P11. Gallen, Buchanan, Randall wants to make up the 14 with Jacob Traynor looking to chase him down. Not quite going to get there. Uren wants to come home in P16 as well. Mueller in behind. Dooley, McManus, James Scott, who's a bit further back, and then Terry Marsh, who is a lap down.
Mate, this grid is wicked. Absolutely wicked. There's you just went down that list, the guys that sit 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and I'm like, dude, these boys are fast boys. There's, Buchanan on his day is a weapon. Gallen is on his day is a weapon. Randall, Trainer. This is a very, very fast grid to race in. So good on these boys for rocking up week in, week out and putting on a show for us on a Sunday night.
I wonder whose yacht that is out in the ocean there, Sinker. Do we reckon that might be James Scott's? He's just snuck in thanks to the Chiefs.
I was about to say, can we have a look to see when Rian and Jack swapped over? But we can't do that now because it's gone into the warm up.
Yeah. So they made the change as we got the 5-minute warm up to come. We mentioned last week that the calendar for the rest of this season has now been released for the Sunday series. We also mentioned, though, that there is a possibility of change, seeing as Bathurst could get rescheduled.
Ryan Mueller got a post-race penalty for incident. I'm not sure who it was with.
Well, can confirm he did get a drive-through. That was a drive-through that he committed to, Sinker. He didn't actually stop in the lane when he came in, so he did commit to that pit stop. The rest of this season, though, subject to change, may go from 16 to 15 rounds, may extend to still be 16 but go a week longer. With Bathurst coming up in a couple of weeks' time on Easter, that has a bit of an asterisk next to it, depending on what we decide to do. The 4th of May would then be the next round after Bathurst. Of course, we have Winton next week as well, but Barber would be the 4th of May, with the 11th of May being Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. We have a bye on either end of those races for Scops, and then the 25th of May we're back for Daytona Road Course, Interlagos on the 1st of June, the 8th of June Virginia International Raceway, the 15th Sonoma Raceway, and then 22nd of June we'll be out at Sebring. Now, there could be one of those circuits that gets replaced with Bathurst, Sinker, or we may possibly even go to the 29th of June and have Bathurst at the very end.
Yeah, there's been already 18-odd votes put in. So out of the regular grid, I'd probably suggest that's most of the guys in the regular grid. So we'll find out in Wednesday night. We'll probably announce it because by then we'll know because we've got 20 hours for it. The drivers will know before that, but yeah, we can reach out on Wednesday night when we run I nearly said Warren and Brown, run the Moser Racing Australian Open Wheel Nationals, hosted by yourself and Zach, and Joshy will be in the background, and the boys will be battling it out not only for the top spot of the grid, but we've decided to spice it up this round. And also do a teams championship. So the team with the most points out of SRW and Gentlemen Sim Racing Club will win a teams championship as well. So we've gone to spice that up. So make sure you tune in. Hamish, 7:30 the show starts?
Yeah, 7:30. I'm just waiting for the guys over at GSRC to give me a hand to set up their channel on our restream once again, and we'll get the broadcast set up so you guys will know the exact time it starts. It will be 7:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. You know what? It feels right saying Australian Eastern Standard Time. I'll be honest with you, Sinker.
Yeah, it does.
I might be alone on this. I prefer Standard Time. I don't know why. I just do. Maybe I just like it getting darker earlier. It feels more cozy for me. But yeah, 7:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time is the current planned start time for that show. To be myself and Zach Caban on the comms. We'll have Josh of GSRC and Jack alongside us as well. Jack will be doing the production for the second screen on the show and giving special little Larko comments for us, similar to Brad last time out as well.
Red Hudson.
Yep, Mr. Hudson.
Who unfortunately can't race on Wednesday night either. He's had to pull on that race.
It would have been his first chance to do it as well, and now he can't.
Yeah.
So it's a real shame.
But the grid is super fast.
It's stacked. It is.
When you say 40 cars on grid, and you some of those guys are some of the fastest guys in the country, so it's definitely going to be an amazing race at this fantastic Phillip Island circuit. No rain.
Have we guaranteed that no rain? Are we guaranteed clear skies that day, Sinker? I hope so.
We are, mate.
Very
we are.
good. Very good. Because I'll be honest, I like the rain for the chaos, but I want it to come down to the battles. I want it to come down to the drivers, not the weather. And I think that's as pure as we can keep it.
It still comes down to the drivers, because the drivers got to be able to handle everything, wet and the
dry.
dry.
But
so,
I feel the wet is such an X factor in that. It is, it can change the race completely. As much as we love the drama, I almost prefer it when it comes down to on-track drama. Someone has a bit of a crash, they take a little bit too much room. I almost find that a little bit more exciting than the rain playing a part in that.
Warm-up's finished.
Yep, it is. So we're going to get into race number 2.
I was about to say, do we have the current ladder positions for these boys? But we probably don't have time to go through it.
We don't anyway. I just know that Blake's on top still.
But while we're there, we'll put a big shout out to Warren and Brown Tools, who were out the motor show today. Unfortunately, I couldn't get down because I'm getting ready for my young boy's 5th birthday, so I had to do a few things around the house because I won't have time during the week.
Sinker, how much you're going to have even less time as of 2026 because he's going to be starting primary school. Although, in saying that, he'll be a lot more tired by the time you get ready for a broadcast in the evening because he would have tired himself out of school.
It's going to be very interesting, mate. I just got to get fitter. But look, while we're out there, Shunts Scenery, thanks to them for supporting us. Moser Racing, PDD, Phoenix Driver Development. If you guys are out there and you want to get better and faster, believe me, these boys do some magic work. I've seen it in action with my team. So please get out there. They do setups as well as training. Get out there and support Warren and Brown Tools. They've got a website. They've always got some amazing products coming out. Grim Industries, the home of the V8 table that shows itself on the premiere show of Top Gear with a little snippets here and there when they do their interviews. And have I forgotten anyone?
Are we talking about the Thursday sponsor or no?
We haven't released the Thursday sponsor yet. No.
Okay.
No. We haven't signed anything yet, so we've got a couple more weeks left. If you are interested in being the naming rights sponsor for our Toyota GR86 series, please reach out to me.
I think Gazoo would be a fantastic sponsor for the 86s, Sinker. Make it the actual Gazoo Racing Toyota GR86s. That would be.
We've been down that corridor. We've actually had meetings with Gazoo and twice now, and a few years ago, and we've reached out again, and they're just not interested, unfortunately. Which sucks, which would be perfect because we are easily the biggest GR86 series in the country, if not the world. Purely because no one else races it. Here's the grid, mate.
Yep, Tim Mulford will line up on pole alongside Troy Stone Street for the reverse top 10. Jace Douglas, Billy Mole inside of the second row with Harry Dodds and Angus Lawford from all Project 36. Third row of the grid, Will Brown, Rehan Leonards, Jack Andrews, the 3 Phoenix Racing Team cars will start P7, P8, P9. Their teammate, Tim Mulford, as we said, will start on pole with Blake Warboys making up the reverse top 10. The rest of the grid will start how they finished in race 1, including Mick Clifton and John Gallen on the 6th row of the grid. Will Buchanan, Shane Randall, Jacob Traynor, Russell Uren, Ryan Mueller, Troy Dooley, Alex McManus, James Scott, Terry Marsh, and Stacey Boyd at the back of the field. We've got less than 30 seconds until we go green, and well, you can feel the pressure starting to rise on these drivers once again. I finally, by the sheer luck of selecting the Supercars camera pack, we finally got the good starting grid camera, Sinker, where we sit on the actual
Mueller
sign.
reckons that James hurt his butt.
Oh, well, put some deep heat on it. You'll feel better.
You'll be right, mate.
You'll be fine.
What's that stuff you put on baby's gums?
Oh, I can't remember what it is now. I know what it is too. But regardless,
we're off.
Lights are getting up. Mulford, Stone Street, Douglas on the front three as we run away down the Gardner Straight once again. It was a horrid start from Mulford, but a wicked start from Stone Street and Douglas as they run down towards turn number 1. There is some spray on the circuit still on the main straight. The whole grid, though, has started on dry tyres for race number 2. As we run up through turn 2 once again, you can see the scrambling throughout the whole field to make up any positions that they can. I can see Jacob Trainor's had a horrid start as well. He's dropped down the order, Sinker. But for Stone Street and Douglas and Mull, they got off the line at a wicked amount of pace.
Oh, Blake Warboys and Rian Leonage, they've just followed each other off. They took off like rats out of a cage. They've already made up 3 places, so they're doing spectacular out there.
Well, luckily for us, we're not smashing any pumpkins in towards turn 2 as well. I say that it was too early. It's Shane Randall I spoke to early. It's my own driver that's off the road. What a shame for Mr. Randall, but he's tenacious. He's hungry. We'll get back
James
there.
Scott up 6 places and Ryan Mueller up 5 places already. So they're working their way off track with Billy, with Gallen.
Who was that? That is John Gallen off the road at Lukey Heights. So they're here, there, or everywhere. Has the track gotten wetter through the warm-up session somehow, Sinker? I don't know.
Well, the sun wasn't out, so it probably hasn't dried up as much as they wanted to. Anyone want a Sandy? Anyone want to meet up? Mate, this isn't Tinder.
You want to talk Tinder? Find Adam Hughes. He'll do it with you.
Oh, my goodness. So they tore through the pack on the lead start and flying straight away up into 6th place for Blake and Rian in 4th already. Billy Mole already putting some pressure on Jace Douglas. Jace Douglas 2/10 on the back of Stone Street. And Stoney has done a great little start, hasn't he?
He has indeed. I don't think Terry Marsh has learnt yet that we do 2 races in one night, Sinker. He did race 1 and he hasn't come back for race 2. I feel he may have forgotten that there was a second race on offer, but fair play.
Yeah, that's all right. Look,
that's fine.
He's there, thereabouts. He made it on the track today. Usually he just makes the practice session and the quality.
He did indeed. So it was good to see as Warboys wants to move up the inside of Lawford. Job done for him down at Miller. Now let's chase down Leonage in front of him as well. So Blake's up 5, Rehan up 4. James Scott's already up 9 in behind the fast approaching Ryan Mueller as well. He's up 7 positions. So they're both the 2 biggest movers on the track at the moment. Everyone else is either up 1 or 2. As Lawford's had a big old internet dropout. Yeah, he had an internet dropout there. He's now back on track, but hopefully that does not become a reoccurring issue for him. Otherwise, he's going to have to come into pit lane and fix that internet connection.
We haven't seen a pink flag yet, have we, in our series?
No, we haven't. Not that it would tell us.
There. Mueller just cutting off the angles, and James Scott couldn't quite get the dive in on him then. And playing very smart, trying to take the centre line and cutting at the angles.
And the one thing that James Scott would not want, and I'm sure Ryan doesn't want this either, James Scott does not want to make contact with Ryan Mueller for a second race in a row at the same track. No. He does not want that to happen.
He's already got a sore bot.
Yeah, so, he'd be hoping that he doesn't need to apply more of the massage oil as Scott wants it up the inside at turn 1. But Mueller,
So Will Brown and John Gallen got together. That was what we saw. And there's no further action at this point. So both equally to blame, or there's not much between them. Or it could have been netcode, who knows? I don't know. But it was no further action.
Let's have a look at it. This was up through Hayshed and in towards Lukey Heights. So what's happened? Oh, there was a bit of knock-on between them. And then Gallen zips off the road. Brown returns and he was under pressure. Yeah. So it didn't really look like there was much in it. Just a little bit of overlap. No. They both came together.
Yep.
One of those things. Bit of racing.
Bit of racing. We love the bit of racing. Blake Warboys just set the fast lap for 1:32.880 in 6th place. He's hunting down Rian at the moment. Rian is 1/10 on the back of Jace Douglas, putting the pressure on them as we speak. And you can just see them coming through there. This is going to be a treacherous point for Jace. He's going to be sweating bullets.
Rian's
put on the inside.
Oh, Warboys.
Oh, Warboys taking advantage as well.
Mate, he snuck through there like a kid pinching a chocolate from the corner store. He's just, mate, he has just taken that for free, has Blake Warboys. My
he took
God.
the lollipop out of his mouth.
He did. He's just like, I'll have that, thank you.
He did. He just snatched it, mate. I didn't even say thank you. He just went out of his mouth. That was a great little move by both those guys. That was some great driving. But you know what? Jace Douglas of old would have lost it there and stacked the car. So Jace has improved dramatically, mate. So hats off to Jason to handle that sort of pressure from two of the fastest guys in the country, passing him like that. And he did really well to yield to the left and stay out of trouble and still racing behind them. He's followed them. He's 4 tenths behind them.
Fair play to Jace, and I love commentating his races every week, but he always gives me the post-race rundown of his event in my messages on Discord after the race. like I didn't watch it happen, but I love him from, because then it's either if he has a good race, then he goes into full detail. If it's a bad race, he then just kind of knocks on himself a little bit. But I mean, it's racing. You make mistakes. Just got to learn from it. That's all.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Bottom screen has got Jack Andrews, Angus Lawford, James Scott coming through. You can just see them pearling around there. James Scott is chasing down Jack Andrews, who's 5 tenths behind him. Have a look how close this is. Stone Street, Leonard's, Warboys, and Jace Douglas just sitting behind. If I was Jace Douglas, I'd be just sitting behind this pack and hope that some mischief happens because of the wet. James Scott up 12 places. Blake Warboy 7s. Leonard 6.
He's done an exceptional job thus far, Sinko, as James Scott. I mean, are we surprised though? It's James. I mean,
he's a weapon, man. He's an absolute weapon.
An absolute weapon.
He is. Yeah. And mind you, the thing about him is that he's not always setting the fastest laps.
No.
Right? It's consistent laps. Yeah. He hits his points, he hits his markers, hits his apex where he needs to, and it's that consistent pace that really makes him stand out. So it's like his best lap is a 1:32.9. Fastest lap tonight is a 1:32.8. But his last lap is a 1:33.6. So he's only a couple of tenths off his laps, 2 to 3 tenths somewhere around there off his laps consistently. So he's doing really well.
He's dropping just this almost a little bit of pace. Now maybe that's just coming down to the traffic and trying to get past.
He's 1 tenth behind Jack Andrews, so Jack Andrews will be affecting his pace.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, he knows that, but it is a long race, to be fair, and he's not giving up too much time to the likes of Warboys and Leonard. Stoney goes round!
Stoney's round! Stoney didn't hold his brakes! He didn't hold his brakes, he rolled forward!
Stone Street and his own teammate Billy Mole have just made mammoth contact down at MG. It's been a bottleneck scenario.
Stoney rolled forward then.
And Warboys is not happy. He reckons there was contact between Stone Street and Leonard.
Yeah, there was some contact there, but I don't know what it was. But I tell you what, Billy Mole is flying down there side by side with James Scott. James Scott's taking the inside line. He's got him through there.
Oh, there was contact.
Nice little move.
There was contact between them.
Yeah. Look at this roll forward.
And
he's
unfortunately,
he's going to get done for not holding his brake.
And it's his own teammate that's caught him as well. But it's not just it's not just Billy Moe. It's not just his own teammate. It's the likes of Dodds and others who've been held up in that moment.
He's gonna
get pinged for it.
He might get the incident called in his benefit, but he will be going through a drive-through for not holding his brakes, I reckon.
So at the front of the field, Rehan Leonard, Blake Warboys lead the way at the moment. Jason Douglas is on the podium, but he has got a fast approaching James Scott chasing him down. There is 2.6 seconds. That's the battle on the smallest screen that we can see, being led by Scott at the moment, who's got Jack Andrews and Billy Mullen behind. Warboys though wants an outside line on Leonard, not quite able to get it maybe just struggling for grip a little bit on the outside line in these greasier conditions, Sinker.
Oh, he's still showing him. He's still showing him. He's still finding his spots out. He's flashing the lights. He's got that going. We spoke a few weeks to War Boys about how he conducts himself behind the car so close and how he drives it. He doesn't look at the car in front. He looks at his braking lines. He's where he wants his car to be. He looks through the car. So he's not really worried about what Leonard is doing at this point. He's more focused on the track and getting the best out of his car.
Well, you can see how much he's having to wrestle this wheel through the first two corners here. And even though there's no spray, I feel that there's still that little bit of greasiness out there. You can see the odd little puddle getting kicked up by these tyres, and it's almost like, you know, they're having to just catch this thing as it gets that little slide happening. But, I mean, we're only 10 minutes in. We've still got half an hour to go. We've still got a pit stop to happen in this race as well. Blake doesn't necessarily need to get past Rehan just yet. But I think he feels he has to, because he knows that James is coming. And the longer he sits behind Rehan and gets held up by him, the quicker James is going to catch him. I mean, that gap now is down to under 2 seconds. I mean, it's quickly becoming nothing between him and James Scott.
Yeah. I've switched down to the bottom screen. Will Brown, Mulford, and Mueller. Mueller is putting some massive pressure on the back of Will Brown at the moment. He's looking like they've been side by side, moving around, but some great little battles there.
You can see Rehan Leonage on the second camera as well at the moment as he tries to defend against Blake Warboys for this top two battle. Jace Douglas 1.6 seconds behind. So he's holding up Blake just a little bit at the moment. And that might just be coming down to...
Car 79, drive-through penalty.
Yeah. So Rehan Leonage is going to have to come through pit lane. He would have wanted to hear it probably about 20 seconds ago, Sinker, because then he could have committed to it this lap. But now he's going to have to come in. And you know what? Blake's going to be screaming for Rehan just to let him go, because there's no point in holding him off now. He's going to lose the position anyway when he comes in.
He's got to try to slow him down as much as possible so that it doesn't impact his drive-through. But James Scott he's there and thereabouts already. He's up 16 places, man. What a mammoth start. What is it? We're 8 laps in. Unbelievable.
Are we that surprised? Seeing as James can break away at the front of the field and he only ended up at the back. Look at this battle
down the bottom. Lawford's got it in there. Oh, man, we've got Mueller and Brown swapping as well. Will Buchanan in there too. Some great little battling down that. This 10th place battle is sensational across there. The boys up and down this field are doing great work. Stacey Boyd and McManus are fighting down the back as well.
Stone Street's also been given a drive-through penalty for failure to hold brakes at MG.
We knew that was coming.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So no surprise there. Do we think Rehan now, do we think he waits the 3 laps to do this drive-through?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But
he's wanting Jack Andrews to catch up to James Scott to come through.
The other issue is, though, the longer he waits, that's then going to affect his strategy play as well. So that's the other thing too. So he wants to try and spread himself out as fast as he can, but there's no point in trying to hold off Blake. He's better off using Blake to let himself pull forward. Because if he continues to defend, he's going to drop pace as they're banging doors in towards turn 1.
He's not making it easy for him.
I know these.
And I wouldn't expect any better. That's the way to do it.
I know.
That little bit of paint nearly got the better of him.
I know these guys are racers, Sinker, and I know they're wanting to race, but you've got a penalty over your head already. Do you really want to over-defend at this point of the race when you know you're going to drop that position?
Why not, mate?
Sportsmanship? I don't know.
At the end of the day, you're going to serve your penalty, yeah? But you're a racer out there, yeah? So you want to hinder the guy that's going to be leading by as much as possible to get the guys behind him to catch, to slow him down. Because if he gets away, it's going to be even harder to catch. Not that he's going to catch him, but he wants those other guys to creep up onto him and put a fight for that race. So that way, he's still in the battle for the competition.
Well, the tactics may be questionable of Rehan at the moment. He is battling as hard as ever at the front of the field. It's a null and void battle, though, as he will drop the positions when he comes in for that drive-through penalty. For Blake Warboys, he just wants to get past and try and break away from Jace Douglas and hope that Jace can hold off James Scott for as long as he can.
That's
for
a
P3.
great driving, these two boys.
That's fantastic. Fantastic driving between them as well.
That is amazing.
Rehan's come in. So Rehan's committed to it.
Let's see how he goes through, where he comes out. We've just seen James Scott
Oh, as War Boys is over the radio.
There was a call there from Blake at the moment. We see James Scott come up 17 places in 8 laps. So I'm expecting Rian to come in.
To compound that, though.
Catch these guys.
To compound that, though, Sinker.
Yep.
He's done that in the first 8 laps of the race, where the whole field is pretty much separated by maybe only 20 seconds. Rayhan's,
when they're spread out, they're a lot easier to pass as well.
They are, but you're able to get past more cars quicker.
Go through Chase Douglas.
He wants the outside line at Miller. He can't quite get it. There's contact.
There's contact. There's contact. Oh no. Oh no.
What is happening? What is it with Phillip Island tonight, Sinker, and the big boys getting into the walls? What is it?
Yep, James Scott's just called that in.
Yeah.
I can't say. I've got no idea which way that went, but that was spectacular. But look at this bottom screen. Look at this bottom screen. These boys are swapped again. They're going hell for leather. They're 2 tenths behind each other all the way through. Mulford, Lawford, Ryan Mueller, Will Brown, Will Buchanan, putting in a spectacular show in the second screen.
Let's have a look here. What's happened with... Oh, so this is when they're already off track, so we need to actually see when they make contact. Here we go.
Oh, he's got hit in the rear end.
Oh.
He's got hit in the rear end then.
Yeah, that was by... Was that by Mulford?
He got pushed forward into him, yeah.
No, it wasn't even Mulford.
Was that Mulford?
No, it was Andrews. It was Andrews who pushed him.
Oh.
Interesting. That changes it up.
That could be either a racing incident or that could be Andrews coming in. We'll see what race control says. Yeah, boom. Not once. Yep.
Oh,
yeah, one.
He had a little knock, but I don't know if his knock pushed him into the side of Jace. We'll let RC break it down.
We'll see what the boys downstairs says. Say. Looks like Jace is struggling with his front end at the moment.
He would be.
So I reckon he might have been damaged in there because that looked like the front end was locking up on him.
Maybe a little bit too high of a brake bias too. 16 minutes 40 seconds in Sinker, and Mole's on the back of Andrews.
And the action to galore tonight. We've had a the seasons for the regular season's off, but this season is still going strong because we're taking it across the 2 seasons, season 1 and 2 traditionally for us. So we're doing something differently. And I'll tell you what, mate, we were feeling a bit lackadaisic and lazy when we came in here, but I tell you not feeling that anymore. The adrenaline is pumping like crazy.
I guarantee you I'm going to be ready for bed as soon as I lay down. I will tell you that is Mulford and
rotation
Mueller.
Down the bottom. Ryan Mueller has had contact with, I think, Mick Clifton.
No, I think it might have been Mulford. Yeah, it was Mulford.
Yeah, I think it was Mulford.
I think he's just run it wide and not left Mulford any room on circuit, unfortunately.
Well, as we expected, a very greasy track, tough track.
Yeah, tough conditions.
Some really, really tough corners. Traditionally, we've seen a lot of incidents on this track going back through all the different cars that we drive out here, from the SR8s to the Formula 3s, the 86s, the TCRs. Always Phillip Island brings up something special. But now War Boys has settled in. He's done himself a fastest lap of the 1:32.88, and he is already 4 seconds up the road on Jack Andrews. Billy Mole is 4 tenths behind Jack Andrews. James Scott is 8 tenths behind Billy Mole and Hunting. Harry Dodds is still in 5th place, going under the radar. He started in 5th and he's still in 5th, so he's doing extremely well.
Can we claim Doddsy as a silent assassin, or are we going to call him the frowning assassin?
The frowning assassin, I think.
He always has the stink face going on.
Oh, Kung Fu Tiger.
Yeah.
He's the White Tiger.
Maybe he is. Maybe he's taking after Tommy Oliver as being the White Tiger.
If you're up for some violent detective lawyer sort of stuff, the new Daredevil series is sensational.
Did you watch the Netflix series as well, Cinco?
That's what I'm watching now. I've always watched the Daredevil all right through, but I'm watching the new series at the moment.
The newer one on Disney Plus.
Yes, that is. For Disney Plus, it's very graphic.
That's because it's Daredevil, and it's based on the Netflix series of Daredevil. So
correct.
They wanted to keep that gritty feeling. in it.
Very good.
The one that I've actually been enjoying, Singer, and this might be one to watch with the young fella, is actually X-Men '97, because it's based.
Oh yeah, I don't like the old.
It's
I don't like
based
the old animation.
after. It's based. Well, it's modern animation, but it's based after the end of the '90s X-Men series, so it's a continuation of it, which is pretty cool.
Is that on Disney?
It's on Disney Plus, yeah.
Oh,
It's actually a Disney Plus show.
Yeah.
So they've it's modern animation, but it's been made to look like the old show, but
Yes,
it's much better quality though, because it is newer animation. But it is good. It's a good show. As Billy Mull has now lost out to James Scott, so he's finally gotten his car up onto the podium for the Chiefs here tonight for James Scott.
Up 17 places.
Yeah, which again, he did start at the back of the field after a poor race one, so we expected him to get up this far. We have got high expectations of James. I hope he knows that. If he doesn't by this point, where have you been, James? I mean, you should know we've got high expectations of you.
Here we go. Ooh, James Scott's got a readdress to car 099 for that incident early on. Harry Dodds is in the pits. How's he going to readdress all the way back there?
So he's going to have to let Mole past him and then give up 4 seconds to let Jace Douglas past. I almost feel like James should be a drive-through more so than anything.
Well, you know, maybe the
4
contact
seconds to
wasn't
give
there
up
from the car behind. Maybe I don't know. Obviously,
that's what I thought.
Affected him from what they're judging.
Yeah, when we were on the on-car shot with James, there was a little knock, but I don't think that's what's actually caused the incident with Jace. You know, he had a little knock, yes, but he's kept going.
We've got car towing.
Who needs the tow? Is it Alex McManus? It is, and it's on the entry to the pit lane.
McManus.
Yep. So what has happened to Alex McManus on the entry to the pit lane? How in the hell has he ended up here as he's running into pits? So he's coming to pit lane. He's washed out wide a little bit. Oh, and he's locked up trying to slow it down, and then bang, and he's stuck. Oh. Blown engine. He's been allowed to tow.
That's a Steve moment.
Oh, and he hasn't been allowed to tow just yet, but I wouldn't expect a safety car, Sinker, because...
Safety car is in. Safety car is in.
So the safety car has been called. Very interesting. Yeah. I thought maybe they won't call it because he's technically in the pits. The crew would just have to push it, but very interesting. So we're getting the safety car called by RC, and Warboys has stayed out on track. So do we think now maybe Blake's going to try and go for a nose stopper?
Why not? Why not?
I suppose, yeah. Why not? Why not go for it?
Yep.
Why not test the theory as he's come out behind the safety car?
There's only a couple of cars gone in. Jacob Trainer, Jane Randell.
Andrew, unfortunately, I don't think James can pit to redress position. He needs to redress it on track as a proper redress, which he has already done. He's given the position up to Jason, so... James has redressed now.
That safety car couldn't have come at a better time for James Scott then.
Yeah, pretty much. He hasn't had to give up too much time to Billy Mull.
Yeah.
Or Jack Andrews, so that's worked out well for him.
Yeah. It's going to be tough. Look, these boys are going to be hoping that they... how many lap cars have we got? We've got none.
No, none.
None.
Well,
So there's no readdressing.
I think Boyd's already been given a wave around if he was a lap down, so... those have
there's no readdressing, so there's not going to be a big safety car period.
Drivers have come
we are
in
down
for pit
to 23
stops.
minutes, so we'll probably have another 3 minutes of safety car.
Yeah, another lap or so. Some drivers have come in to do pit stops. These drivers now are playing the gamble of trying to fuel save to get home on a nose stop. Everyone from Stone Street up, so they've determined that they can save enough here to get home. It's going to be tight though, especially if the race goes a lap extra. You know, say they cross the line with 5 seconds to go, it will be very close. Yeah, James didn't lose any time. He didn't really get... It wasn't really much of a penalty after it all, Sinker, really. I mean, he's still...
Look, it was a readdress, and it was a tough readdress. 5 seconds up the road is a tough readdress. But it's better than... Oh, that in the pit lane?
They're going in.
They're all going
The
in. They're
front
all
runners
followed
are all
in.
going in, and look who pit on lap 13. It was Harry Dodds. He's going to be the leader of the race. And Lawford's going to be with him. And so's Mulford. Does Gallen get... He does. So all these drivers who have pit under the safety car are all going to head up the front of the field. Jacob Traynell's maybe a bit too far back. Same for Randall. But what a gain and what a strategy.
Pit lane's closed. Pit lane's closed.
Yeah, it's closed. The exit's closed. They've got to wait.
So people like
no,
Traynor and
they're
Randall
past the
might make
exit.
their way through.
No, they're past the exit of the immediate train, so they can exit pit lane because the train is past.
Closed.
No.
Pit lane was closed?
No, the train's already come past Sinker. So Traynor and Randall are not a part of the train yet because the last car's past the pit lane. Even if race control don't announce that it's open, because the last car's come past, the pit lane exit is open. Pit lane's always open. It's the exit that closes.
I beg to differ. The safety car or the RC needs to open the pit lane. I don't know. I didn't hear it open.
Well, the ruling also states in the rule book that when the last car passes the pit exit, that's when it also opens as well. So there were no cars in the immediate train that were next to pit exit. So, you know, you look at it on screen, the pit exit was fine for Blake, I mean, and everyone else. Because for Traynor, for example, he wasn't in that immediate train as well. So, you know, it's... I mean, we'll see. If anyone calls it in, we'll see. But yeah, that's now something that RC is going to have to figure out.
Safety car lights out.
Okay.
It's pulling away from the field now.
So Dodds and Lawford are going to control the field. Mulford P3, Gallen, Mueller, Uren inside of the top 6. Warboys, Mole, Andrews, Scott, Buchanan, Brown, Clifton, Traynor, Douglas, Dooley. Leonage was the big loser out of all that Sinker. Why has he lost so much? I suppose because he was already P11 when they came in, so it's natural loss.
Yeah.
Well, what's your pick now? Because we've got we've got 13 minutes to go, and Warboys, who was the front of the field, is now all the way back in P7. And has got six cars to get through. Plus, he's got his teammate Mole, who'll hopefully play some rear gunner ahead of Jack Andrews and James Scott.
It's going to be a tough one, mate. It's going to be very tough. These boys have got a lot of work ahead of them for, 13 minutes. Whew. I don't know. I'm not going to make any predictions. It's going to be tough.
Well, Dodds has gone green.
Already.
Any boy in the chat asking, why does it matter if the train is passed? No advantage. It's because of the rules stating who has right of way when someone exits pit lane. That's why. It's the whole reason why there is a closed pit exit. They have it in real racing as well. But regardless, Doddsy leads the way. Lawford with him up in P2. So Project 36 will be loving this at the moment, Sinker, because they've got their 2 cars in the top 2. They've got Mulford on their chuff, but Gallen's up there with Mueller. So PR, Mr. Stephen Banks is loving it right now.
Oh, yeah,
he's got 2 cars in the top 5.
Boys.
He will indeed.
Yes.
I wonder, Uren's going to play the team game. He's going to let Warboys through. And all of a sudden, Warboys has now got 2 rear gunners trying to hold off Jack Andrews and James Scott in Uren and Billy Mole.
Here comes. He's just passed. James Scott's just overtaken Jack Andrews. This is going to be a tough one. I mean, the pace is there. The pace is there.
Oh, Mick Clifton off the road. Nearly made contact. Jace Douglas has gone wide. He's also now dropping back. So there's a bit of argy-bargy happening in the mid-pack. Sinker hasn't quite cleaned itself up yet.
The fastest lap after that, 1:32.804. Safety car, I think, is still up on the screen, mate.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
Russell Urinen's gone off track, lost about 5 places.
Yeah.
Not sure what was going on there, but I tell you what, Mr. Banks should be a happy man right in this very moment.
He will indeed. Oh, I think he just washed it wide. It just washed wide up at Lukey Heights.
Okay.
That's a real shame for Russell. Could have been on for a top 10 finish if that didn't happen, but he is still just outside of the top 10.
Warboys just set the fastest lap, the 1:32.732. He's 1/10 behind Ryan Mueller.
Also,
he's putting pressure on Mueller at the moment.
We've also had confirmation from race control as well, Sinker. The pit exit was never closed as there was no immediate queue behind the safety car.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
I
so-
thought I heard the exit was closed, but that's cool.
That's fine.
That's why I asked the question.
Yep.
Thank you, Barbs.
Thanks, Barbs. So we've got 10 minutes left of this race, Sinker. Dodsey and Lawford can work together. Gallen and Mueller can work together. Warboys is on the charge. Mole is playing.
Oh, look at this, look at this.
Oh, Warboys.
Too wide.
Yeah, Warboys gets past Gallen. He now wants to try and get past Mueller as well. Mole is still playing rear gunner for Warboys. He is going to deserve a Christmas card from John
Look
Van
at
Ray.
this. He's making life very
He is making it very hard. But Warboys wants the run. Up
He's
through
about to
Honda.
dispatch him.
Oh, car 5-5.
5-5-8 and 5-0-1.
Entering a closed pit lane.
So Shane Randall and Jacob Trainer.
Interesting. As Scott's now gotten that job done on Billy Mole, and now we'll hope to try and get past John Gallen.
I'm going to switch the bottom camera across.
Oh,
My Stacey Boyd's
Stacey
coming off track.
Boyd. Yeah, he has. That's a real struggle for him, unfortunately. Harry Dodzo leads the way with Angus Lawford, Tim Mulford on the podium at the moment, Ryan Mueller. Blake Warboys back inside of the top 5. He's got fresh tyres on that car now as well. John Gallen, James Scott, Billy Mole, Jack Andrews, Will Buchanan makes up the top 10. Can Warboys make his way to the front of the field, or can Dodsey get an all-timer first time win on the Sunday nights here for Project 36?
Not going to moz him.
I believe
There
this
was
would
question
be...
at the beginning of the show. Was Harry going to be the winner tonight?
I believe... okay, so we have more confirmation from Barbs. Because the car requesting a tow was stuck in pit entry, RC closed the pit lane at that time. That's probably the call that you heard, Sinker. So that's more confirmation from Barbs.
A bit of door rubbing. Billy Mole has got a bit of pressure there by Jack Andrews. They're going side by side. Living on the edge, these boys, living on the edge.
And there's battles happening all throughout the field.
Track's coming back. It's not as slippery as it was before.
Not as
the boys are attacking the corners
not
now.
As greasy, not as greasy now either.
Yeah, a lot better. They're coming. They're hitting the accelerator a lot earlier and really pushing the bankings at the moment.
Still having to avoid those painted lines and the curbs. I think they're still a little bit wet. But there is a definite, the track has definitely got that proper dry line on it now. Probably still some wet patches on the outside of the circuit, but the dry line is definitely formed and they're able to go pretty much full push at this stage.
Leonard just set the fastest lap, the 1:32.514. He is on the back of Jack Andrews at the moment. He is 1/10 on him. They've just switched at the moment. Leonard has just gone through that spot and now he's going to be chasing down Billy Mole. And between Billy Mole and himself is James Scott. So Billy Mole is his next target.
So here's Warboys hot on the heels of Ryan Mueller. Is he going to go for a send in towards Miller? He's going to have to do it the long way round. Mueller's going to make him work hard for it. Oh, he's not
James
quite able
Scott
to
has
get
also
there.
just passed John Gallen in that little bit of the fight in the bottom screen that you
So
saw.
there's Scott
These
in
boys-
behind.
Oh, it's a compact field, man, and these fast boys coming through are really doing an amazing job.
And he's heating up inside of the top 10. Stone Street.
He was about to get- we've had some dust in the back there.
I think that might have been
That's
Stoney off the
Stone
road.
Street going off track.
Yeah, what's happened down there? Oh, him and Randall getting a bit overlocked. We'll see what RC say
Too
about
much
it.
love.
Yeah.
That
We'll
it looks
see
like
what
a drift
RC
car
say.
now.
Yeah, he's taken off the rear wing. He looks like a beer can at this stage.
You know how they chop the rear bonnet, the rear boot, and
Yeah, they
bumpers
take
off,
off
and
the
sort of
bumpers.
It's halfway at the axle.
Yeah.
But James Scott is now up behind Blake Warboys. We've got pressure there from Warboys. Warboys has got Ryan Mueller in front of him, 2/10. James Scott is 2/10 behind him, and Gallen has just fallen off a little bit off the back of them. So this battle at the pointy end is getting more and more serious with 6 minutes left to go. So we're looking at about, 4 or 5 laps?
Probably 5, maybe 4,
maybe
yeah.
one more lap for
Yeah.
the last one. So I'm not sure these boys are going to be able to make it. There's not a lot, though. like third place between Ryan Mueller, Blake Warbers, James Scott is only 4 tenths up the road.
Scott sent it though at Miller, trying to keep it as tight as possible. Warboys having to give him a suburb's worth of space. And Warboys holds position. That was a big lunge from Scott.
Turn around the bottom there.
Billy Mole.
Billy Mole is around. Billy Mole is around.
Was there contact with John Gallen down at Miller? It's all happening at this point of the race. This was the replay. Oh, he got it really loose under brakes. Gallen had contact with Leonage, and they both traversed through. Oh, and then as Mole came round.
Oh, I think Mole's just lost his rear end of the dirt there.
Oh,
but he's got
Clifton.
pinned as well. Yeah, I'd say my gut's telling me no further action there.
For Mole, I think for Mole,
yeah.
I think for Leonage, he may get pinged for the contact with John Gallen, possibly. We'll see what RC says though. But the leaders at the moment, Harry Dodds and Angus Lawford, have got this race in their hands for Project 36 with 5 minutes to go.
Falling off the back of them. He's 2.5 seconds. So Mulford is getting swamped
was on
as
the
we
wet
speak.
line. Oh, side by side through turn 1. Warboys wanted the inside line at 2, but Mueller just had the drive to get it ahead of him.
That was so close and so sketchy around there. There's a really fast part of the track for that to happen. Oh, look at James Scott in the back of Warboys. We have got pro fighters running an amazing race at the moment.
And look at this. They're having to go full defense, full attack, try and pull out any trick they can from the book to get these moves. They run up through Hayshed. 4 minutes left to run. Probably 2 or 3 more laps left in this race for Warboys to fight his way forward and for James Scott to get past him as well. But Mueller wants to play spoil sport. He wants to hang out in P4. He wants to put an assault on Mulford for P3. Car 79 drive-through penalty for incident responsibility on lap 21. That's Rehan Leonage. So another penalty to the HRS entry of Phoenix Racing Team as Mueller has a big blink right in front of Warboys.
Here we got this drive-through going for car 79.
Yeah, Rehan.
Oh, he's having one of those nights. He's not going to be a happy man.
It's one of those poor nights on the track. One to forget. Oh, but Warboys is right on the chuff of Mueller as they run through turn 1. And now up towards turn 2. He's got to try and think of anything he can do to get past Mueller down at Miller. He doesn't want to give Scott an opportunity either, so he's got to try. He's got to finagle this a little bit here, Singer. He's got to figure out the balancing act to get this job done. But Mueller trying to do it on Mulford may help him out. Mueller gets through at Stoner. He's locked up the rear, so there's contact with Mulford. Contact with Mulford has knocked Mueller off the road. We'll see what RC say about it. But Warboys now wants the outside run at Siberia. Can he get this job done, Sinker? It's big pressure moments that make the diamonds. And right now, Warboys wants to become a precious gem in this field.
I tell you what, mate, this is turning out to one of the classic races with incidents happening up and down the field and drivers driving so close to each other which you just can't avoid the contact sometimes. But this race at the very end is spectacular.
Speaking of contact, it may not be able to be avoided. Mulford and Warboys.
As this race just turns on its head, Harry Dodds, Angus Lawford have gone away, stayed out of trouble, but the battle behind has been hot for leather. James Scott, Warboys, Jack Andrews, Buchanan, Renage. Here we go. Oh, it's hard to see from that angle who's left, who's
I'm trying to get a better angle of it. Hence why I put it into slow-mo. So if we watch this up towards the top of the hill, does Mulford move over on him? Or is there contact made? Oh, that's so hard to tell.
Oh, it looks like Mulford's moved over on him, I reckon.
Yeah, we'll see what RC say.
Because Warboys had the line outside. Look, I'll leave that for the boys downstairs. It's a tough one. It really is a tough one. Yep. But I tell you what, the action-packed all up and down the field. I hope those boys all shake hands at the end of the night and have a bit of a beer together because the racing has been hot to trot tonight.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what RC say about it. But James Scott is now up to P3. He'll be gaining some points on Warboys, as will Dodds and Lawford, but if Blake stays where he is, he should still leave Phillip Island as the championship leader leading into Winton next week. But it's highly contentious. It's highly controversial, as Phillip Island has been before. One more lap to go, though, for Harry Dodds. In a moment that he will remember forever.
Track.
Yeah, Randall is off. Where is he off at? Oh, it's down at Siberia. He's kept it going.
Yeah,
down.
that car is second-hand.
Yeah.
That car looks like it's been driven by Mad Max.
I'm not looking forward to that bill that I get in my mailbox.
Trainer on the back of Stacey Boyd having a sniff.
It's putting the pressure on. But for Harry Dodds at this
Here we are.
stage, one more lap to go before Harry
Can
Dodds.
this be? Can this? Hope this is not a dodgy moment, but
yeah.
Can this be? Leonard's doing his drive-through. Unfortunately, the incident with Leonard, she tried to readdress, but there was too many cars that were involved in it and disadvantaged on it. So the readdress wasn't on for it, which is a shame. It's one of those tough nights for round. Chin up, son. I know you're a legend and you'll do well for the rest of this season. But final lap, mate. Harry Dodds and Angus Lawford, 2.5 seconds up ahead on James Scott and Blake Warboys.
So for Harry Dodds, this is an important moment. He's yet to take a win in the Sunday Supercars. He has taken one on the Tuesday Supercars, Sinker, but also it'll be his first win for Project 36 since joining the team here in SRW. It's a breakout moment for him at Phillip Island. He's been a big advocate for us to hold a Phillip Island 500 as well, so I expect him to make comment about that when he comes to have a chat to us post-race. I'm just pre-warning you.
To him, mate.
We'll just let him sit there and simmer.
Critical points for Lawford as well in the championship. After a few rounds where he didn't have too good a run, these are critical points for Lawford too.
Very critical. The most critical, in fact, to gain on both James Scott and Blake Warboys. But for Harry Dodds, as he traverses the final corner for the first time for Project 36 and for the first time on the Sunday nights, he'll become a race winner on board the 981 Camaro as he crosses the line. P1 in race 2 at Phillip Island. Angus Lawford makes it a 1-2 finish for Project 36. James Scott will come home P3. Warboys will leave Phillip Island as the championship leader, still finishing out a P4. Jack Andrews P5. Will Buchanan, Ryan Mueller, Will Brown, Jace Douglas and Russell Uren gets his top 10 finish for WKMP Sim Sports in a breakout performance. Tim Mulford will limp it across the line ahead of his teammate Rehan Leonage. Stacey Boyd, Jacob Traynor, Troy Dooley, Shane Randall, Billy Mole and Mick Clifton with the last of the finishers on the road. John Gallen, Troy Stone Street, Alex McManus. The non-finishers, Terry Marsh, the only non-starter. But for Harry Dodds, it is celebrations, and for Harry Dodds, it's a breakout moment for him.
John Gallen, man.
You got to feel for
him.
him.
He was having a cracker of a night, and it just wasn't going his way. Billy Mole as well. Rian Leonard's, just things weren't going their way. It's one of those things in motorsports. You have those nights where stuff just does not want to go the right way. And the spectacular drive by Harry Dodds.
I know, it's a great strategy play. A real misplay, I would say, by that top 11 cars who didn't pit when the safety car was called. Unless the pit lane was closed when they were coming past, possibly, I'm not sure. But
the car could have still been there.
Yeah, it could have still been there. That could have been the factor that they were passing as it was closed. But for Dodds, though, it's played into his hands. It's a similar scenario to what we had in Split 2 earlier in the season with Callan Hodgkinson at Indianapolis, where he's pit at the right time and he's managed to get his car up the front and he's managed to stay there at an all-time win for himself. So a big congratulations to Doddsy into Project 36. This might even be their first 1-2 finish in SRW, Sinker.
I think it is, mate.
Not their first win, because obviously Lawford's taken a win before. Lawford and Scott won the 500. But I believe it's their first 1-2 in SRW, so congratulations to that team. Congratulations to Dodds for his first win for this team and his first win on the Sunday nights as well. In an incredible effort from them. Let's get some B-roll.
Well, what I'm going to say is, I hope the viewers that stuck with us tonight and have enjoyed this as much as me and you have, because that was action-packed. As a viewer and a spectator, you love a little bit of drama on track. It's not that nice for the boys, but I tell you what, action-packed race tonight. That was some very close, very tough driving, and I loved every second of it.
Am I getting
Phillip
the
Island,
feeling?
thank you very much.
Am I getting the feeling that you're becoming more and more of a Phillip Island fan the more races we have here, Sinko?
What was that? I think your mic's breaking up, mate. What did you say? What?
You're funny. I know it's not breaking up. If it was, I'd be going to get a bloody refund.
Look, it was. You know what? It's as a driver, I'm not a fan of it because I'm not good enough on it. But as a spectacle tonight, it brought all the fun out. The rain before qualies and the track drying out for the first split for the first heat, and then the feature. It's been fantastic. It's what you want to do on a Sunday night, and you know what? Watch your V8 Supercars and all the different series that are around. But these boys tonight put on such a show, and I wish you people would share it, like it, and push it out there. Not for us, but for these guys. They deserve to be out on the big stage. What they do on track tonight was spectacular.
We're one step closer to the Phillip Island 500 becoming a reality, I feel. In SRW, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Stuart Ward was in the chat, though, saying some people doing a lot of rear view driving tonight. Yeah, it had a feeling about it, didn't it, Sinker, that was maybe one of the major aspects of tonight's race.
Yeah.
You know,
there's a lot of there's 3 wide in some of these corners which just don't handle the cars.
I think there's going to need to be a lot of learning going in towards Winton next week, because it's a circuit that you cannot rear view mirror drive. You have to focus forward and just try and stay where you are. It's a tough track to pass, but it's one where strategy is going to be very important. You can get moves done, especially early in the race. So I'm looking forward to it. But we've got our 3 podium finishers in the green room to have a quick chat to us. Let's have a start with Mr. James Scott of the Chiefs in the 088 Camaro. James Scott, congratulations, P3 in the feature race. Not the greatest of race ones for yourself tonight. You made up for it, though, in race 2, getting 17 positions and getting up into P3 on the road. Congratulations on a podium finish here in the feature race.
Can you hear us, James? Oh, he might be having issues with the mics with the
no.
settings.
He's not muted. He's not muted in his Sinker. He's not muted, so he should be able to hear us. I would say that he should be able to hear us.
He said no one can talk. He's got it's the new settings. It's the new settings. He's James says no one can talk.
He should be able to talk.
He's just sent me a message.
But he's not muted in here.
No, it's the server.
That's whack. Okay,
yeah,
well, I guess we go into the briefing room, Sinker, and we drag him into the briefing room.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Let's drag him in here and see if they can talk in here. Mr. Scott, can you talk in this room? What the hell, Sinker?
Hey.
Okay. All right. We're just going to talk to them all at the same time in the green room.
Mate.
Let's just go to the green room.
No, they can't even talk in the green room.
What? Okay. All right. We're going to have to sort this out. We're very sorry, guys, if you can hear us. We're going to have to
Don't know what's going on. Must be something, the new settings we've done.
We'll have to figure this out in the settings. We're sorry that we couldn't get your interviews done. Congratulations, Dodsy. Send us a message
Let's
very
see
quickly.
if the lounge works, mate. Let's see if the lounge works.
Push to talk works. Push to talk. Turn on your push to talk. Turn on your push to talk, gentlemen. That's what it will be.
Yeah, I had to map out one of the new buttons.
Okay, hang on. So let's do this. Hang on.
Anyway, while the rest of the boys sort that out, Mr. Lawford, how was that out there tonight, mate?
Very interesting. Got a little unlucky with the Stone Street getting turned in the first couple of laps. Kind of got nowhere to go after that, but yeah, decided to go for the early pit stop to sort of get out of and try and jump Mulford, and then the safety car came out. It just worked in our favour.
Yeah, it was perfect timing.
Unfortunately, Singer's just had a big old dropout. Can I just ask as well? I've quickly just set it to.
Are you there?
Yeah, we've got you, Singer. I just want to quickly ask. I have just set it to use voice activity. Has one of you not set a push to talk button yet, just so we can test that?
I'm all good. I've just switched mine up to the voice thing now, so I'm all sorted.
Okay.
All right. So
no
can you get James sorted, Hamish?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, cool. All right, sweet as.
All right, Mr. Angus, back to that. How's that foot of yours?
What's been good for a little while has just been trying to get used to the new cars and trying to get the sets right and stuff like that. It's been a bit of a learning curve, and it's been good to run up against these guys. Like, the field's a hell of a lot tougher this season, a lot closer, so it's been good fun.
Now, Winton next week, Angus. Are you looking forward to the prospect of the racing we can get there? Or
the times have been spectacularly close. We were just saying earlier on, every name 16th on their day.
Yeah, Sinko, we missed about all of that because you were breaking in and out.
Finish any.
All right.
Can you hear?
No, you're still breaking up, Sinker. It's fine. Well, I'll look after him. You sort that out for yourself. Angus, what was it like though in the field tonight? Obviously, the gamble of having to take dries in race one, deal with the wet weather, and figure out what was the best strategy going to be. What was it like in this field, and just trying to deal with those greasy conditions all throughout race one and the start of race two?
The start of race one was really interesting. I shot up through the field from 12th up to, I think it was about 6th in the first couple of laps. I managed to get a really good first couple of laps. Then it was just a matter of trying to keep it in the tram tracks. But race two was a hell of a lot easier. The dry line was much wider. I don't think I even went off the dry line once, so we'll have to see what other people have to say about it. But yeah, it was really good across the whole track.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. We have had confirmation as well for those watching that the incidents involving car 850, car 553, and car 63, and I think it was 850 have been classified as NFA. So, yeah, those are just an NFA moment. Angus, let us know anyone you want to give a shout out to. Maybe just leave the sponsors up to Dodzy to put him into the hot seat since it's his first win for the team. Yeah. But yeah, anyone you would give a shout out to, Angus, let us know, and any friends or family as well that you want to give a shout out to as well.
I'd like to say thanks to pretty much all the team. Thanks to Brandon for making the strategy calls tonight, and obviously our sponsors with CC Forge, Cataclysm, Shockworks, and Simrigs.com. So yeah, thanks guys.
No worries, Angus. Thanks so much for coming over chat to us through all the struggles of figuring out why it wasn't working. We really appreciate it. Best of luck next week at Winton. We look forward to seeing how you go. James,
track, and I love it.
Oh, fantastic, Mr. Scott. A difficult race one for you, one to forget. Race one, sorry, but race two, 17 positions up in P3 in the feature. What was it like out there in these greasy conditions at Phillip Island?
Yeah, race one was, I don't even know what to say. That was horrific. So yeah, sorry to Ryan for that. But yeah, race two was not bad. Got off to a good start. Was up like something like 8 spots in the first like half a lap. So that was always good. And then yeah, no, car was okay. It was, I don't know, it was really hard to drive. But yeah, no, it was not too bad.
Now, what was it like trying to, obviously you were trying to fight your way forward in race two, and then the safety car restart happens, and Blake's trying to get by Ryan, and he's struggling to get that done, and then you're trying to get past him too. Walk us through some of the feelings that you may have been having during that battle process, and actually trying to sort yourself out and prepare and plan for the sort of final attack at the end of the race.
Yeah, I don't know. It was really hard to pass. They were sort of 2 by 2 the whole way around the track, so it was really hard to go anywhere. But yeah, no, I saw they were probably gonna, run into each other and, maybe open an opportunity, which ended up happening. So yeah, just bided my time really.
Played the smart game. You're going to need that next week at Winton. How are you feeling leading into that race where it's even harder to get overtakes done, and it's going to come down to how well you can play the strategy game and how willing you are to send it at some corners?
Yeah, I've got no idea what the format is, but had some really good speed there in the... Well, I didn't have any good speed there because I didn't drive, but in some of the other guys in the team had some good speed there in the Logitech Qual series that was there a few weeks ago. So yeah, it should be just get that set in and see how it goes.
Can confirm 60-minute race at Winton next week. So it's going to be a longer one. So yeah. But yeah, full strategy play. hopefully you can make up some spots in the pit lane, maybe save some fuel and see where you end up in the final stint. But James, let us know how helps get you and Chiefs out on track. Anyone else you want to give a shout out to as well? And congratulations to myself, Singer, and the rest of the league on your P3 here this evening.
Yeah, thanks to all the guys at Chiefs with Aussie Broadband, Westfield, and Logitech G. Thanks to all those guys all the time. Rest of the guys at the team, you guys for the broadcast, admin people. Yeah, thanks to those guys and the rest of the guys out there tonight. It was good fun.
No worries, James. Thanks so much for coming over to chat to us. Mr. Dodd, quickly before we have a chat to Mr. Dodds, Sinker, have you fixed your robotic microphone where we have to guess every other word that you're saying?
I'm hoping it's working now, mate, because it's I don't know what it did. I just unplugged it and plugged it back in, but well, I'm hoping it's working because I got to talk to Mr. Harry Dodds, who's one of the boys at the beginning of the night said he's going to take it out. I don't know who it was, one of his fan club, but Harry, how does it feel to finally get on the steps on a Sunday night?
Well, it's actually my first race win in a few years now, so not since I was with Tyson's lads. It's actually my first win since then. So yeah, no, it felt such a relief. Like that's a big monkey off the back to get that all done. And
is this your first Sunday win as well, Dodsy?
Negative. This is
Okay.
my third.
Not in the championship, but yeah.
This is my third
I think
Sunday.
you didn't have a monkey on your back, mate. You had a big silverback on your back, mate. That was a gorilla. That was. You've come so close so many times, man. And someone snatched your banana in the last few laps or something would go wrong. But mate, you know what? Hats off to you for not giving up and still pursuing it. And you know, I'd have to say you are still one of the you've probably been as young as you are. You're one of the OGs now. Because when I'm looking back at where we started with SRW, you're one of the first few guys to race with us, and you've been there from the Fishy Boys onwards. So it's been a long, long road, mate.
Yeah, well, definitely approaching that 100 club for the SRW Sunday boys. So yeah, hopefully I'll rack that up soon and get another win then.
Definitely. Well, you got a good team behind you. Good guys to learn from. I think you've finally settled yourself in a place where I think you're going to fit really well.
Look, it wasn't easy when I left when I parted from PER. They were still a great bunch of blokes.
They're an awesome bunch of guys.
And when I reached out to Angus and Brandon, I knew these guys from way back in the day and. Back in our Forza Motorsport days, and yeah, we gelled since then, and it's good to be back racing with the boys.
Well, Mr. Dodds, this is going to be the first time in a long time. I hope you've got your sponsors list in front of you.
I think Angus already read it out, so I'm at the clear.
He was saved by Angus. Angus did him for him.
Angus, should we make him do it again?
I reckon.
No, don't
yes.
do that, please.
Yes.
I'm all good for it.
Well,
I don't think I've got written them down for the new ones just yet.
Well, Dodsy. Regardless, it's been a great night on track for yourself. Congratulations on your win here at Phillip Island in the Warren & Brown Tools V8 Supercars Championship. Let us know anyone you want to give a shout out to. If you do want to run through the sponsors, then you can. You are getting absolutely chirped in the chat, mind you, by Coleman and Barber at the moment. I am going to read them out before you read out your sponsors or your thank yous. Coleman saying more teams than roast dinners, and Barb saying changes teams more often than he changes undies. So you've copped the chirp now. Unfortunately,
that's just blokes who can't drive a supercar. There you go, Coleman. That's a slap in the face for you.
Barb's proved through exceptional sock choices that he can indeed drive the supercar when he wants to. But Dodsy, let us know anyone you're going to give shout out to or anyone you want to thank. It's been an immense effort and a great strategy play from yourself and Project 36 to get a P1-2 here tonight, and for yourself to get now a third win in the books on the Sunday series as well, and the first time for your new team.
Yeah,
and a big journey too.
Yeah, it's obviously a huge thanks to Brandon and Angus, who are constantly trying to keep me calm in those dying 10 minutes or so or how long was left up to that safety car, and to all my football mates back at back in Queenscliff. This one's for you guys because we had a real rough day yesterday against the Newcomb Power. So this one's for you guys as well. To my family who supported me through SRW through all my hard times on it. It's been a real struggle. And like Angus said, it's a grueling season. There's some tougher competition with Scott Warboys and Rehan every week, and the improvement of Jack Andrews and so forth. Big shout to him, he's our photographer as well. So that's pretty much it. And yeah, thanks to you guys for putting on a good broadcast.
No worries, Dodsy. Thanks so much for coming having a chat to us. Thanks so much, Angus. We're going to head back over to the broadcast booth where we've got Mr. Barber waiting to have a chat to us, whether it's waiting to have a chat to us on the broadcast or post-broadcast. I don't know. We'll find out when we go in there, but we'll chat to you guys later. Best of luck next week at Winton. We look forward to seeing how you guys go.
Will do, guys. Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys. Have a good night.
Mr.
Barbs,
Barber.
we're live. We're in the room with you again. You're up here for a reason. I'm sure you're going to tell us something.
I was just sitting here waiting for you guys to finish up so I could have a chat when you finish.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll wrap it up. We'll have a chat soon.
We'll go through the final bits of it. Firstly, what an epic race tonight, Hamish and Greg. I'm not sure what it was like downstairs. There was a bit of banter going on, but a lot of it was just racing hard and cars coming undone in the slippery conditions. How was it, Barbs, from your perspective?
Well, normally Sunday night's really quiet for us, so I'm not going to say it was a quiet night, but it was pretty good. You know, these guys are pretty good at keeping control of the car after contact, and there's only a couple of times where someone came unstuck, and I think you're right. I think because it was a little bit slippery, it just made that difference.
Oh, the pace they keep between them is ridiculous. So I'm flabbergasted that there's not more incidents. The way these boys drive, look, I think Dodgy nailed it. The grid that we have on a Sunday night is spectacular. It's close from top to bottom. You get the four guys that really stand out. You know, your Scott Warboys, Rian, and then you've got boys that are just chomping at the bits behind them. Lawford, Harry now, Jack Andrews, Mueller. The list just goes on.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Rayhan. Rayhan had a pretty ordinary night tonight, but he'll bounce back. You know, he's better than that. He'll go back and review and learn and come back fighting hard next week, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely will. Barbs, do we have any indication on what's going on with the Easter Sunday at this point? I know that's 20 hours left on the clock.
Easter Sunday will be a bye round,
Yes.
so there'll be 2 byes in a row.
Yep.
And then we will come back, I think, in the first Sunday of May and run our Bathurst Enduro.
Excellent. All right, cool. So that'll go out to the viewers. Make sure you all pop in and come out and support us like you have tonight, and give these boys that are on track the love they deserve. Hamish, are we ready to go home?
Yeah, mate, we are indeed. So big thank you, though, to everyone who joined us here this evening. If you have joined us here on SRW for the first time, or if you've been here for a while and you haven't done so, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well, so you're notified whenever we go racing here on SRW TV. Our next major event coming up this Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. The Moser Racing Australian Open Wheel Nationals, where myself and Zach Caban will call the action as the GSRC takes on SRW for Open Wheel of Glory. Can SRW finally win the title? Or will it be 3-0 for the GSRC? Well, you'll have to find out when we get back here to Phillip Island Wednesday night. Big thank you to all of our series sponsors, including our title sponsors, Warren & Brown Tools, for their support of the Sunday night Viet Supercars Championship and the Tuesday night Viet Supercars Series. To Moser Racing for coming on board this season as the supporters of the Super Formula Championship and as the title sponsor of the Australian Open Wheel Nationals as well. And to other series sponsors, Shunt Scenery, Groom Industries, home of the V8 Coffee Table, which can be found on Prime Video's Top Gear Australia during the news, interviews and other studio segments. And to Phoenix Driver Development, be sure to message PDD on Facebook or message Rehan Leonage or Laz Leonage on Discord as well. They'll try and find you guys a session to get you guys set up with some training or even some supercar setups as well. Direct links to all of our series sponsors are in the description below. But a big thank you to Steve once again for joining me alongside. Big thank you to all the drivers for showing up once again in a fantastic effort for round 8 of this season. But I'm Hamish Munro alongside Steve Sinkovic for round 8 of season 1 of the Warren & Brown Tools Viet Supercars Championship out at Phillip Island. We'll see you guys next week for Winton in the next round of this series for round 9. And I'll see you guys Wednesday with Zach for the Australian Open Wheel Nationals. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
amazing. It was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tannock and Jamie Dyke just absolutely drove away from us.